Alright, hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Europa Universalis IV, where we are playing the new DLC, which is Origins, and we are playing as the probably kind of doomed Marley. At the very end of the last stream, we managed to come out of the disaster. We survived the... It's not even showing here, good. The Marley Decline disaster. It is harsh, it is painful, it is deadly, but we managed to get through it. However, by the skin of our teeth, we are currently sitting on 20 loans. It is 1478. We are 2,200 ducats in debt. We cannot take any more, so we are basically reliant on debasing our currency if we want to keep everything afloat. But debasing isn't actually that bad because we are moving always towards legalism and then using the enforced faithful adherents to pay that down. So we can kind of afford to keep debasing for a while. And I actually kind of suspect that the financial recovery is going to be pretty quick because we are actually a pretty big nation. We have 350 developments at this point. A lot of income is going to be gold, of which we are currently collecting 0 because of just how unbelievably bad our autonomy situation is, and that is because of the disaster. The autonomy was constantly ticking up over time, and we had kind of a bad time of it, so we're going to go and drop the autonomy wherever we can, because I need to start earning some money. I also need to start getting some actual manpower and force limit and troops together. We've currently got the Dahomey Amazons, though they only have 1,000 troops left, and then our regular stack, which is a couple of infantry and some cavalry as well. Those are the only survivors of the last cataclysmic war against Songhai, which basically clinched the fact that we were going to recover from this disaster. But my gosh, we cut it close. We cut it really, really close. And it was a lot of fun, actually. I like a challenge. Time will tell if my sanity can survive fighting Austria in your current run. Well, hopefully you're playing that with the beta patch. Otherwise, Austria is probably going to end up fighting itself. Missed the first stream, what did you miss? I'm almost tempted to say go back and watch it, because it was such a fraught, ridiculous run. And it's only like the previous stream. We've only done the one stream, this is the second one. So it's 4 hours. And seriously, if you're just joining us for the first time now, I might well recommend go back and watch that, because it will put everything else into context. Once you get to a primary surplus or your deficit is less than the interest, you'll probably want to hit the bankruptcy. Maybe. One of my problems that I have with EU4 is bankruptcies feel way too freaking cheap. Like, there's basically no downside except for a lack of morale for 10 years. Which, if you're a big behemoth, then it's unlikely that other people are actually going to pull the trigger and attack you. Like, if you're doing it as, say, Austria in the middle of the HRE with the Ottomans, France, and maybe Muscovy and Poland, Lithuania gunning for you, yeah, it's a bit more risky. But for us, I kind of feel like it's just a free pass, and I'd like to recover from this without bankruptcy if we can manage it. So that's kind of my challenge that I'm setting for myself right now. Because I really do feel like the downsides of a bankruptcy, like maybe a permanent, or at least like a 100 years of bad interest or something like that from future loans. It's too cheap. And the way that I see it used in multiplayer, I hate it. I really, really hate it. Like, I think that the 10 years where your country just sucks is fine. But after those 10 years, you're coming out of it smelling like roses, and you don't need to spend 100 years recovering from financial death. I feel like there should be more of a downside. Okay, so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move you guys up to Segu. And then from Segu, actually, where's this? Oh, over there. You know what, let's move you over here. Because we are about to have a lot of uprisings, and I'm not sure that my manpower is going to survive this. Administering an empire. Bureaucrats have long favoured paper over parchment and other materials due to how much easier it is to work with. There are also various measures that can be taken to make official papers harder to falsify. The invention of the watermark in Fabriano is one. The elaborate marbling techniques and calligraphy of the Islamic paper produces another. As empires increasingly come to grow to encompass more than one continent, this need for provable authenticity and ease of use has led to imperial bureaucracies from China to Europe exclusively using paper for official documents and orders. Okay. So we are now standing here. There's the Gao uprising. That actually landed on the fort. So we're going to spend a minute to merge our troops together and we're just going to attack it. Try to knock them out early if we can. That's a lot of troops we lost though. Where's the next one? Up. Oh. Yeah, it's up in the north. So around Timbuktu. Timbuktu will actually cover that pretty nicely. And then Yatenga is going to be the dangerous one. So let's go and sit in the Yatenga. And if the Timbuktu one happens to trigger, then as long as they don't take Timbuktu itself, it's fine. In fact, I think I might do a stand next to Yatenga, so there's actually a chance it'll rise up. And then we have air as well. Okay. Now, this army is pretty much out of manpower at this point. So we might well want to replace the Dahomey Amazons with a different force. We might even want to replace it with a force of our own. No, I think we still want mercenaries because we need the manpower in the short term. Can we afford the free company? Are they available? Yes, they are. Right, let's go and debase currency again. We will go ahead and fire in a minute. No, we are going to fire the Dahomey Amazons now. And then we're going to go and bring in the free company, which is now up to 8k troops. So those companies are definitely growing over time. I'm really interested to see that, because that's not something I'd noticed during the testing, is the fact that these groups, because the free company starts as 4 regiments, it's now up to 8. So that's kind of interesting. Extend the loans. And there's the Azwa uprising. Do we have the morale to go after this? Probably. Yeah, I think we do. Go, go, go. If we can stop them taking the land in the first place, that'd be really good, because now we have to deal with years of separatism, which kind of sucks. Oh yeah, that went a lot better. Okay, let's go back down here towards... No, we need to siege it back, don't we? No, Gao will do that for us. Oh, Gao's there! That means we don't lose anything. We're good, we're good. There's Yatenga. We knew it was going to happen. All of these loans coming due. Our inflation is going to be outrageous. And Yatenga we will actually need to take. And then we've got a little bit of a respite after that. A little bit. Tiny, tiny bit. Oh yes, and we could be coring stuff. I should definitely be doing that. What's our river extension? Nice. Oh, it does. Well spotted. Yes, Jen is there as well. So actually no downsides from those uprisings, which is pretty good. Your strength is back up to full. You've still got Babu Tore in command with your level 4 shock, which is definitely playing into our successes here. Slowly but surely beating the rebels. And remember, every time we beat one of those rebel stacks, the unrest drops like an absolute bomb. And the unrest being below 0 does mean that we're recovering financially and manpower-wise. So our outgoings should not be quite as high. Let's go back to Segu. Actually, Segu's still in the middle. I'm going to say the Karla's more in the middle. And then what we're going to do is manage autonomous rebel suppression. And we're going to start just papering down like so. And we'll do it with the mercenaries as well. Unfortunately, we can't properly merge these stacks, so we can't get the full benefit. But it'll have to do. Since the new Merc system was implemented, the Mercs grows, your national development grows. That's not true, Faceless. When the Merc system was implemented, they definitely did not grow. The manpower may have grown, but the size of the armies themselves definitely didn't. This is new since Origins. The fact that the companies themselves grow. Mystics and storytellers, many amongst the Olema would question the great influence of storytellers here in the life of the common man. The traditional hero stories of our people over centuries old, but they risk making a cult out of the seriously distorted fates of historical figures. A prominent cleric in Messina has taken a strong stand against the storytellers of the realm and cautions that religious scholars of the past have warned that obsessive listening to stories could lead to false worship. We must ban these offensive stories and get more legalism so that I can make debasing currency totally legal. Do I want to be converting? We're at 97% unity. I don't think it matters so much. That's a good way of saving ourselves some cash. Let's move you guys over here. How to activate Golden Age just to stay afloat in this stupid war. I hate you, Austria. Ooh, large city. We may actually be able to do that. That's Timbuktu, right? Yeah. Interesting. Although we are actually only a year ahead of time. But these require Renaissance. So we're starting to see the new system in play. Has Renaissance actually spawned? Yes, Siena. Oh, Morocco's getting it. Once we've consolidated our holdings here, I think that's going to be when we get the province of Taut, and then we can connect ourselves to the north. Advancement of the Ulema. They gain 10 influence. Okay. Oversight by the Ulema. We could probably get rid of that. Merchant guilds. I like patronage of the arts. No, the merchant guilds don't have anything I want to get rid of at the moment. So hopefully we can keep them good. The war has taken a heavy toll upon the mothers and wives of your nation. As you pass this ragged old widow where she sits, her face buried deep in the palmed hands, your heir asks, "Oh father, why are these women weeping?" "They are weeping for their men. They're just crying." So we can lose some war exhaustion. What is our war exhaustion? 6. I'd rather have the manpower. They're just crying. It's fine. Yeah, these areas are rather ticked off. They're going to have a big old uprising. But we knew where they were going to appear, and we can kill them. Alright, good. Now I definitely need to debase currency again to raise myself a bit more cash. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building up my regular army. Keep those loans going. And we are now over the force limit, so we're going to need to get rid of the mercenaries. Oof, yeah we are. Mercenaries extorting the locals. Free company will lose 20% of its reserve manpower. Or gain corruption, gain devastation. Now I'm actually going to purge them and then fire them. During wartime, soldiers of fortune often find ways to make it... Actually, no we're not, because that's a 23k stack. That's about to trigger. We probably need all the troops we can have for that. During wartime, soldiers of fortune often find ways to make it home with a bit more than they are paid by raiding the land where they are sent to fight. Normally, this is not a problem for us when they are sent abroad to terrorize our enemies, but sometimes this habit is hard to break, even during peacetime. Some farmers and travellers in Bagena have complained that the Free Company, a mercenary band and our employees stationed here, have been robbing and extorting them despite, or perhaps because of, the fact that there isn't even a war ongoing. Meddling in the ranks of mercenaries, even one to be hired, is always a difficult matter. Their accusers are unlikely to take the matter further if we let it slide, but the question remains as to how our society will change if we allow such extortion to continue. No, we're going to purge them. I don't need the extra manpower, not this time. This time they are actually beholden to me. And we're going to go back to autonomous rebel suppression. Only in that area, though. Huzzah! Melissa Riddle, thank you very much for the 16-month resubscription. Very much appreciate the ongoing support there. Thank you. Seem to be right on it at least being that way before Origins. Most people saying it's the case the Merc companies grew before this. They kind of did. They would be replaced by bigger companies rather than the company themselves growing. And like I said, the manpower definitely did. I don't remember the actual numbers of troops growing, at least not at this rate. This feels very different. Like, the free company for me was always 4 units. The fact that this is now 8 is different. You could get, like, upgraded ones. So free company upgraded to Grand Army, upgraded to Independent Army. That's always been the case. And now they'll also start adding artillery in bigger numbers. Like, one of the things that was definitely tweaked for Origins is the composition of those armies. Like, they're actually good, bona fide, can fight for themselves armies now. Okay, so you are being protected by Zhen. You are not. So we're going to go for that crew first. Because you taking Segu actually does nothing. And then we're going to have another uprising up there, but we can march into position and deal with that in a moment. But that is... Oh no, this was the big one. This was the 23k. Okay, so they didn't just appear in one spot. That's really good. Good, 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 good. Let's go and stand in Messina. Because the Gen can take Segu. Sufis, with a mystical and less legalistic approach to Islam, are often more welcome amongst the heathens than the highly educated ulema or the soldiers of the faith. We want more legalism, please. Ooh, especially with the autonomy change. Heck yeah. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Alright, let's go and tell you to protect that. At this point, I might even be able to just straight up automate you. $12k is going to be the biggest that we face. You know what? Let's take the risk. Oh, geez. Especially as I need to take out another loan before bad things happen. Good luck with me on taxes. I just want to check something. I don't know if this is actually going to even load. This might just outright crash the game, and that's kind of expected because I'm loading this without the mods enabled. Which was my Gnomish Hierarchy game? That one, I think. $17.44, that sounds like it. I want to see what the size of the mercenary companies in this are. Because this is one of my later running games, 1444. And we'll see if the free companies are still like 5 men. Bearing in mind, it's currently 1480 in this. Paradox put Horde Curse in vanilla. For Mali, they kind of did. And we have no gold income either. Nope, because autonomy is so high. Once we've dealt with this wave of rebels, I think we'll be okay. It was whether we were going to have enough troops and money to deal with this wave of rebels. Now that we are, and pretty sufficiently so, we can recover, because we have no real threats in our area anymore. Coalition isn't going to trigger. None of our neighbours are particularly dangerous or allied particularly dangerously. Yeah, I know I'm loading a mod. I said I'm well aware that this is likely to crash. I'm just trying to save some time. But I think it has in fact already crashed.